Hello Year 4s and welcome back to your final lesson this week. We have been looking at rhyme scheme this last week and we've specifically been using the Scandinavian band ABBA to look at the rhyme scheme in their songs. So I've got a little bit of a challenge for you. You listened to the song Waterloo earlier on this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to write your very own verse for the song Waterloo. Now, I've started us off, so I thought that a very good topic that we could write about is the topic of lockdown and being in lockdown for so long and all the things that we've experienced. In the next slide, I'm going to share with you the original ABBA verse that we did, well, that's in the song, and then I'm going to share with you the one that I have used, or the one that I have made using my rhyming scheme, using the same rhyming scheme that is in the paragraph, except that I've changed it so that the words sound, well, the words make sense and the sentences make sense together. They've just got a new theme. So I will share that in the next slide. So remember, the words that we looked at were my, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh yeah, and I have met my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promised to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. And if you remember, the rhyme scheme that we are looking at started with the line, the history book on the shelf. So it's an AA, BB, CC rhyme scheme of those 6 lines. And then the bits before and the bits at the end don't actually fit into the rhyme scheme, but they add to the song. In the next slide, I will show you my version that I have created. I have kept the same rhyme scheme that we have just seen in the first verse of Waterloo, and I have used it in my verse that I have created. So I want you to think about how you can keep the verse rhyme scheme that you've got there with the 6 lines in it, but then you are changing it to have a different theme and different words altogether. My changed verse says the following. My, during March term, school did surrender. Oh yeah, and we have had to stay at home and help the NHS. Clapping every night, staying home to do what's right. Lockdown, we had to stay in our homes alone. Lockdown, so unsure of the unknown. Lockdown, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Lockdown, I want to go to school to see you. Lockdown, finally able to go outside. You can see that I have kept the AA, BB, and CC rhyme scheme that is in the middle of that verse. So you will see that the rhyming words are clapping every night, staying home to do what's right. We had to stay in our homes alone. Lockdown, so unsure of the unknown. Couldn't escape if I wanted to. I want to go to school to see you. And then finally able to go outside is obviously the last one, and that's not part of the rhyme scheme. My task to you is the following. I want you to think about the rhyme scheme and the words that the rhyming that we looked at yesterday or in the previous lesson, and how we also need to make sure that when we are writing sentences that they link together and we're not just using random rhyming words because we couldn't think of anything. So it is a bit difficult, but see if you can come up with a verse of your own that can fit into this song about lockdown. You can see that I haven't used the first few sentences. They aren't part of the rhyme scheme as it is in the story, in the song. You've got 1, 2, so you've my, and at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh yeah, and I have met my destiny in quite a similar way. That's not part of the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme are the 6 lines that follow that with the AA, BB, CC pattern, and then there's a final line where it says Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo, and in my version it said lockdown, finally able to go outside. So that's not part of the rhyme scheme. You can change those lines as well, obviously, to make it fit. So instead of Waterloo, we are going to write a lockdown song. So your lines will say something along the lines of lockdown and then the rest of your sentence. So please give it a good think and see how creative you can be with the song that we are creating or the poem that we are creating about lockdown. I would love to see these. So please share them on Tapestry. If you want to give it a go of singing with the same tune as Waterloo, you can. I'd love to see that as well. But please share with us all the work that you have been doing.